This program is brought to you by the Media Liberty Alliance Foundation in cooperation with OBBM Network TV, bringing citizen-led, creative local media to the forefront of local communities to foster a greater understanding of constitutional liberty and appreciation of what makes us truly free, starting with you and me.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're updated each time fresh content comes out. And thank you for being part of the Zach Rateliff Show.
The Zach Rateliff Show is sponsored by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org. Hello and welcome to the Zach Rateliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Chris Redfearn. Chris, welcome back, man. How are you?
Man, thanks for having us. Or I say my lovely's usually with me. She's out doing kid stuff and getting some stuff ready for meet and greet we have this afternoon.
Okay. And first day of election season, right?
Oh yeah. You got early voting starting today.
Yeah.
Voting. This tells you I'm country, right? Early voting starting today.
No, I'm the same way. You can't get the biscuits and gravy out of me, you know.
That's right.
That's the way it works. Well, man, I enjoyed our talk last time. I enjoyed meeting you and Elizabeth, and so thanks for coming back in. Let me give you a chance for those that may have missed that show to just say who you are and what you're doing.
Okay. So greetings, everyone. On the previous show, be sure and go back and watch it. Before I get into who I am, I want to give a shout out to the 37 states and countries.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the 37 states and countries that have subscribers to this show. And I want to do one more thing. I want to do it again. I want to invite you down to Smith Park and come down and go camping and really enjoy the area down here. I believe it's really the pearl of this area.
Man, I like Mercer's Bayou. I mean, running scum frogs through those lily pads. I like, I don't know how many guns I've shot at Smith Park at the shooting range, but it's a lot of them.
It's a lot. Yeah. And while you're on your way to Smith Park, or while you're out there at Smith Park, don't forget to go down to Falk and see the Boggy Creek Monster. And,
that's right.
And get into those things. It's a great area, great people. I just spent some time with them at an open forum last night with question and answers. Just amazing people with deep ties and concerns for the county. But on who I am, I'm obviously Chris Redfearn. I'm running for Miller County Judge. Spent 24 plus years in the military, and with all that, made senior non-commissioned officer, E8 first sergeant is what I retired at, and ran multiple large organizations. My last assignment, I was a operations NCO and first sergeant for, it's called RTI, 233rd RTI, a great group of guys. I'm sure they're probably tuning into this once we get it out there. We had sniper school and officer candidate school and warrant officer candidate school, and which I had. We got that set up. That was one of my big claims to fame, if you will.
Yeah.
We got the warrant officer candidate school set up, and just a phenomenal program that produces amazing leaders within the military. And we have infantry courses and then what I call nerd courses. And don't beat me up, guys. I know you're listening, but it's the 25 series, which it's electronics and things like that.
Which is important in today's world.
And our guys are the best in the world. Those guys up there, they're the best in the world at teaching it. Not only teaching it, but doing it.
Right.
There's an old saying that if you can't do, you teach. Mm-hmm. And it's not true in that organization. They've all done, they did, and they do.
And that's who you want teaching you, those that have done it, those that know.
Yeah, and they know, and that's the thing. But of course, I'm running for Miller County Judge, and we're running based off of, plans and future planning, and really to move the county forward and kind of set the standard of excellence across the state of Arkansas with what you can do and who you can be, and really to improve the lives of, and not just the lives, the everyday life of each individual citizen in Miller County.
Well, that's awesome. And since you were here last time, were you here before or after the Church on the Rock Forum?
Oh man, I think it was before. No, it was before. Yeah, it was right before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had quite a few people show up for that, and then you've had multiple of those with people all over. But I keep hearing, people keep coming back to me about, hey man, that guy you talked to, Chris Redfearn, I'm interested. Tell me more. And I'm like, pretty much what's on the on the video is what I know, and so, and that's why I'm glad to get you back in here. But one interesting thing that has come across to me, of course. In our area, of course, in your race, what are there? 6 Republicans, 1 Democrat?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Everybody knows everybody, and so I've had multiple people like, hey, I think I like that guy. I'm not sure I can put a sign in my yard because I don't want to hurt my uncle's feelings, or I don't want to, maybe I work at this place or I work at that place, and but I think I'm going to vote for him. And so I find that interesting, which I understand self-preservation usually wins out, right? Yeah. And are you seeing any of that as you're going about? Is anybody telling you that, or is it just something they're telling me? Or
well, unfortunately, of course, we talk to lots and lots of people and just wonderful people. And here's the sad truth: is the fact that everybody knows everybody,
right?
It's a great truth, but it's sometimes in this situation, it's a sad truth. And what I mean by that is this: I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people over the course, definitely thousands over the course of the campaign. But I've talked to hundreds that either work within the county government itself, or have family that worked for the county, and the answer is always the same. Well, I won't say always because there's nothing that indefinite, but generally the same, and that's this: is that I can't put a sign in my yard. I can't support you publicly because my husband works for the county, or my wife works for the county, or my cousin, or my dad, or something. And if you don't win, then they'll get fired. It's happened before. So I don't support that.
Right.
I think you should be able to support whoever you want.
And not get fired over it.
And not get fired over it and lose your job. So what the sad truth is every 4 years, our county employees, regardless of where they work in the county, before the county, is concerned about losing their job.
Right. Absolutely. And they're going to vote for somebody.
Yep. And so here's the deal. We're getting away from, shouldn't we be blessed enough to win? And I think we're doing very well. We're getting away from this good old boy program, the good old boy system, whatever tagline you want to put
whatever
on
you want to call it.
And I'm going to work with the quorum court, and I'm going to put in place, I call it talent management or human resources management, a policy that the incoming judge can't fire anyone minus an egregious act, okay? Like you can't be insubordinate, and I can't, for 180 days.
Right.
With the exception of the supervisor, the one's direct reports, because I understand that you may have your own team you want to bring in. I do not, but I'm also going to put in place a 3-person hiring panel for the supervisors and managers.
Right.
So it's not me making a deal to get support for a vote.
So they're actually evaluated on merit.
They're evaluated on merit.
Yeah.
And ideally what I would want is 2 justices of the peace and me on the board, because the justices of the peace, they are the citizens' vote or the citizens' voice into the county government.
Right.
Right. So why would we not want the citizens' voice into hiring the management team of the county government?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me. Now, there'd be some, if I understand most of our justice peace work and they have jobs and things like that. So, there'd be a line, a line of succession, if you will, for the hiring panel. So preferably I'd always want elected officials, to sit on the boards, preferably the justice of the peace. But if they're not available, then the other elected officials I would ask, obviously couldn't dictate to them and wouldn't even want to.
Right.
But then if they weren't available, or if you had one and not one, you need 3 for a board.
Or you have a plan put together.
Yeah, I have a plan put together for it. So, and just in that, it gives a little security. Okay, at least the incoming judge gets the opportunity to evaluate the entire team.
Right.
And the team gets an opportunity to be evaluated.
Yeah, because they don't have to stay if they don't like what he's doing.
Right,
either.
right.
I mean,
If you're not going to buy into the vision to go forward and things like that, then obviously you want to go somewhere else. That's fine. We understand that. But also what I'm bringing in is a merit and performance-based evaluation system. So right now there's no evaluation system that I've been told.
like no one-on-ones, no
counselings, there's a write-up program from what I understand, but there's not an evaluation system where you get a quarterly, and an annual evaluation.
But, that blows my mind. I've ran a lot of places, and I always tried to do monthly one-on-ones, but at least if not quarterly.
Oh, yeah.
And then because that way it's not a surprise. Like, oh, I met with you last year, and then the next year it's like, oh, and here's all this that you. If you can get with somebody quarterly and you're talking to them. One, you can retain people a lot easier because you're like, hey, here's what we need to work on. Here's an action plan. Here's what we can do. But to have none of that, or at least not stated, right?
Yeah.
That's a wild thought. I mean,
It's a wild
that's just not the way private industry works for sure.
Yeah, and when I was told that, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like you're not sitting down every year, at least yearly, and like, hey, you do this well, just an evaluation, merit, performance." And the reason is there are several reasons why it's so important, but one of the main reasons is you can see the future in your organization.
Yeah.
So, if you perform well and such like that, you can go from being the new guy hired, per se the lowest man on the totem pole, all the way to the senior supervisor of whatever department. You see a pathway forward. It creates longevity. It creates a morale boost for sure. But it gives you an evaluation system that who the next guy is for the and just pick a department. But I'll say. Let's just use road foreman because everybody wants to talk about the road foreman. But you can use those merit and performance-based evaluations, and you kind of see the line of succession on who's the next guy or girl.
I mean, it just makes sense to me in my career, especially in banking. I'll tell you a story. I don't know when it was. It would have been 2013, 2014. I was at Waffle House. The waitress was amazing.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you doing? Well, why are you here? She said, I'm just trying to make a living, going to school, Hand her my card. I'm like, I've got an opening. Come apply. Right. And so she comes into the bank or fills out the application, comes into the bank. I mean, I knew the interview, if it went the way that she was there, it was going to be a good thing. Anyway, she comes in, but then through one-on-ones, and she's finishing her up her degree, but then through one-on-ones, I'm like, this girl's amazing. Well, she was one of 2 and maybe 3 that came out from under me that went on to get their own branches in the company. But you identify that through having your at least quarterly, but hopefully monthly one-on-ones, and then what's going on, and you're able to mold. I mean, I get it. I'm with you. I think it's crazy that wouldn't exist.
Just think about that for a minute. A one-on-one turned into a branch manager. How many lives were affected? How many jobs were created? What the positive impact of an evaluation and using real talent management.
Right. Yeah.
And because talent management is to me is as important as human resource management, and they're not the same.
No.
Human resources is, it's the nuts and bolts of an organization in paperwork, and that's what I call it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's CY.
You have to, right. You have to make sure everybody, human resources, make sure everybody knows about their insurance and how to do the right thing so they don't end up out of network or something on the health side. Excuse me. Talent management is leadership getting together and looking at the future of the organization and using a performance merit-based system of evaluation of everyone in the organization.
Right. That doesn't change based on personality. That way everybody knows what they have to measure up to.
Right. You get a clear set of standards. And here's the thing. All those years in the military, right, over 24 years in the military, the standards were clear.
Right.
People, and it's a true statement, and we've said it, and it's been said in the military for forever. You're in control of your own career. You can have some setbacks, and you can have some things like that. However, but you're in control of it. You do the right thing, and I tell people, right place, right thing, right uniform, right time, right attitude. That's how you manage your career.
Right.
And you can keep moving forward.
And you can't control the time, but you control those other 4 things.
That's right.
So when the time hits, you're already there.
That's right. And there's an old saying, and it's definitely not just new with me. It's opportunity comes when preparation. Success comes when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, or the other adage, the more prepared, the luckier I get.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
I'm lucky, but there's a lot of preparedness that's going into all this luck.
Yeah, I used to say when people would say, "Man, you're pretty successful in this area, you're pretty successful in that area," man, it's like, it could happen overnight. It was a long night. It was a long night. There was a whole lot of work that went into that. Suddenly, hey, suddenly you appeared on the scene. Yeah, suddenly there was a lot of work went into that. Suddenly,
that's exactly right. Yeah, and that's what's funny. Not to derail too much. That's what's funny about today's culture is, everybody's trying to live an Instagram life, but you're not putting the nights that you're stressed out and can't sleep and all that out. That's why suddenly, because ain't nobody advertising that.
Ain't nobody advertising. Hey, I believe it was General Patton that said, "An ounce of sweat on the training ground will save a gallon of blood on the battlefield."
There you go.
And I think it was him. It may have been Montgomery, but I think it was George Patton. But anyway. And that's the success. That's how you get success, right?
Right.
Is when nobody's watching, when nobody's looking, when nobody's doing, when everybody's out living the Instagram life, and then suddenly you show up successful. And they're like, "Oh, it was given to you." That was a long gift.
But there's something about earning. Well, and that's what I'm seeing with you in this campaign is, first show you reached out to him and, "Hey, can I come on?" Yeah, dude, let's do it. Yeah. And then I've just watched your name and your name growing and having anything to do with me. It's your work is what I'm trying to say. I know that you're putting it in. I know that if you're contacting me, you're contacting other people. I know that you're out there grinding. Then because you believe in your message.
Oh yeah. Well, I believe in the people in Miller County.
Yeah,
I believe
there it is.
I believe that, of course, you have all this growth up in Northwest Arkansas. It's the fastest growing area in the United States, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Our people are way better. I mean, and everywhere I went in the military, it turned into our family.
Right.
Our family. And I would challenge you with my family anytime. The Blackfoot family, which is here local. The Blackfoot family here. I'll challenge any organization, any county.
I met one of the
United
Blackfoot
States.
brothers, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because they said,
that's right. I saw that.
He was talking about it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. But I'll place Miller County's people up against anybody. I believe in them. I've seen the way I've seen the way they work, and I know I'm kind of jumping just a little bit, and I apologize for that. We're 100% rated work ready,
right,
in Miller County. And I make this little joke, like you got Texas and Arkansas, Bowie County and Miller County, and of course Texarkana is the twin city, and Miller County is so much more than Texarkana,
right.
And Bowie County is so much more than Texarkana, Texas, too. But Bowie County is not 100% rated work ready.
Right.
And I'm not throwing rocks or anything. I'm just telling you that the folks in Miller County went to work. And we're 100% work ready through the national accreditation. I forget the name of it, and I apologize. But it's like taking the ACT for college.
Right.
That's what this test is.
Saying, hey, this county's ready to go.
This county's ready to go, and it's ready to go.
What, so let's say come March 3rd, you win this primary. And then, of course, we have to get all the way to November.
All the way to November, yes, sir.
Let's say you carry November. So January 1st, 2027, is that when it starts, I guess?
Yes, sir.
What's the first week look like?
So, and as I said before, and I've said it ever since, and it's just the way I live my life. The first, after the moment after I swear in, I'm joining hands with my wife and my family and the supporters that are there, and I'm saying just a very simple prayer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask the Lord to help me that we serve with the heart of David.
Oh, man, yeah.
The wisdom of Solomon, and the dedication of Daniel.
There you go.
And the next thing after that, we're going to get right to work. I understand that there's some people that's retiring. I don't know that they are. I haven't spoken with them personally. So, but if they choose to retire in the time frame, then we're going to put some awards together for them. And the reason this is important is because it's about people.
Right.
I don't want them to leave after whatever years they've had and not get a thank you, because it's hard to stay. You just look at the world now. It's hard to get anybody to stay anywhere for 10 years, much less.
You can't even get people
20.
to watch a whole TV show, much less stay at work for 20 years.
Right. And Instagram causes that, the 30-second video.
That's right.
But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start our audit.
Okay.
We're auditing every policy, every program. The next thing we're going to do is put the what I just spoke about earlier, the talent management and the 180-day before the quorum court, and get their input, obviously. I don't see them not passing it.
Right.
Or putting it out there and getting them to put it in place. But the first thing we're going to work on is that audit. We're going to ensure that we're spending every dollar in an efficient, productive manner.
Well, and because that's the deal. At times, and it doesn't matter what county you're talking about or what government organization or even organization, a lot of times people forget that we're stewards, or you will be a steward of other people's money. The government has zero money.
No.
And of course, I'm just anti-taxation for everything, And so, but the government doesn't have any money besides what it takes from a productive citizen.
Correct.
And so if you're going to take that by threat of incarceration, because that's where we are.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't pay us this money, we're going to whatever penalty up to incarceration, then please be a good steward of it if you're forcing me to give it to you. And that's what I think you're talking about. That's why you want an audit. That's why
I want an audit. And I'm not saying an audit to try to catch up the previous administration or the administration before that one. I'm not going out here looking for problems. Now, if problems arise, we'll understandably we'll have to deal with them. But I don't.
That's not something you foresee.
No. I want to know if we're paying $2 for this set of glasses, can we get them for $1.50?
That's right.
I want to have, because when I start going out and talking to our vendors, I want to know exactly what we're paying them as a government entity, and what the general population is paying them, and then what other industries are paying them. Because what they're not going to do is charge Miller County at an inflated rate because we're the government.
Well, that's like here in Bowie County, I've heard Mike Carter talk about a couple of times this fly ash that they use on gravel, and he's like, man, it was going to cost this and that, but he was able to find another county that donated it to him.
Yeah.
Well, so that's being a good steward of county resources, and I think they use some of the trucks from that company maybe to bring it in. Well, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, and I hate that he got to that before I did, because I was looking into it. I'm not a fly ash expert,
right?
So I found out about it and started doing some research on it.
I thought we talked about it like last time you were here.
Yeah, we did, and then they got it donated to him, and congratulations.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, I'm about all the citizens for sure, but I'm definitely Miller County first, Arkansas first. Everybody else can get in line.
Right.
And no hate toward my neighbors over here on Texas side.
That's the way it works.
But yeah, I was, and we're still going to look into it. We're still going to try to get it that way. But I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently to it.
Right.
To the point of what it cost and things like that. I know it's expensive. That's the reason he was looking for the donation, so, but I'm going to do everything I can to, well, here's what I'm going to do. Here's my goal. I want the Miller County government to be publicly invisible.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I want everything out there in the public. I want, you're going to be on social media, right? We're going to turn all our reports into Start the Judge podcast or whatever, where I just read it. Hey, we spent this right here. This is what we did. Road crews here, quorum courts there, whatever, on social media, all the platforms of social media, YouTube,
that's
all
awesome.
of them, and just put it out there.
Yeah.
So that's publicly, right? But then I want all the infrastructure, all the actions of the government to be so seamless and so efficient that we're invisible.
I tell you what, I'll open it up. If you win, until you get your studio set up, you can come in here monthly or quarterly, and you can give a Miller County report if you want to. We'll do. You can do a show with me, and then that way, we've already got it all set up right here. If that's what you want to do, you can come in here and give a quarterly report, and we'll just make it public to everybody.
That sounds great. Deal.
I mean, sounds like a plan.
So no, I appreciate that, and my plan is to do it quarterly because
monthly would be a lot.
Monthly would be it turned into to monotony. We spent $12 on so, but right. I want to do it in such a way that people will not only find it interesting and be a part, and we'll talk about Miller County being a part of this election has been phenomenal as far as citizens. Right. But I want it to be to the point that they want to watch it. Like, hey, I saw the road crew down there on 22. Where are they going next? Yeah, just pull up the schedule. Like, oh, they're on our road next week. I'm going to they want to drive the kids down to here, or have to plan for the road to be half blocked and flaggers to be out. Right. just caution. So, but I just mentioned the Miller County involvement. Man, we've had phenomenal involvement.
And you guys are having events everywhere. Yeah, and just citizens. You see, and I can even say this about Bowie County. People care about it too, but it's more about Miller County today. But I mean, it's just like people are engaged in what you all are doing, and on every level of the election over there. I mean, it seems to be. There's a lot of people in Miller County that I'm talking to that are just tied into this thing.
Yeah. So all but I don't want to say all. Just running through my mind, just real quick on my little Rolodex, the vast majority of the public, or vast majority of all the meet and greets, because I've had a couple of private ones with some families and neighborhoods and stuff like that. So they were put together by them too. But I think, except for two, every one of them has been some business owner or some group of individuals within the community has put together and put forth their efforts and coordinated the places and the speaker or the moderators and the questions and all that. And it's heartwarming, because they're involved. It's people care.
And, to see that from the other side with the one that you did at Church on the Rock, I watched Richie Grant get ready for that thing for months and just blood, sweat, and tears in it, and then keep it on everybody to make sure, hey, can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? And I figure, of course, I'm partial to that one because that's my home church and all that stuff. But it went off well. But when people are doing this, there's a lot of planning on that just to help inform the public.
Well, one of the recent ones we did, the actual organizer got sick the day of.
Oh no!
So and it came off. It went well, but I hate that he couldn't have been there because the event was so well planned,
right,
and so well executed. Just talk about the kind of work that goes into that. He had done so much work putting it together. Him and his team, I guess you will, because it wasn't an individual effort by his own admission, right? That it went off without a hitch. Awesome. And I hate that he was home sick.
Yeah.
But it's still the effort. I'm talking about the effort. The effort going into this is just phenomenal, and it's heartwarming and humbling all at the same time.
Well, and the effort that you're putting in out there, and I'm sure other candidates are too. I just hadn't had the chance to talk to all of them. I mean, you have to have a passion for what you're trying to get elected to do, and you seem to do that. Before we get out of here, just go through your top hit list one more time of why you for Miller County Judge.
So the real difference is the tested and proven leadership in large organizations and small organizations, the diversity of life. But I'm going to say probably one of the biggest things. It's just to me personally now. I mean, this. I guess you could put it on a resume, but I just love these people.
Yeah.
And my heart. I loved them when we started this, but it's I'm not a Grinch. I never have been. I love Christmas, but the Grinch's heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Through every day, 2 sizes every day for the last 6-8 months that we've been talking to people. But the real qualifications, the proof is in the pudding. I believe in transparency and accountability, and I got true accountability. When you have to face the parents of soldiers or the wives of soldiers that you make life-changing decisions about every time.
Right.
There is no hiding. There is no hiding behind anything. It's you and them. So I understand the value of true accountability and transparency, but I also understand the impact of it as well.
Right.
I understand what it takes and what happens on the other side of it. It's one thing to stand up and be like, yep, I did it. It's a whole nother thing to do it, to stand up and look somebody in the eye and say, yeah, I did that, and I understand what it did to you.
And that's what I've had other representatives come on that, and even when I was on the radio, that would come on and say, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm like, hey, I don't agree with you. They're like, well, if it doesn't go well, I'll come back and look you in the eye and answer to it. And they did. And I'm like, you know what? I can respect you for that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And you're not going to make everybody happy.
No.
There's an old saying, you can't make everybody happy, but you can make everybody mad.
Exactly right.
I think that's probably true. But looking at and I say accountability and transparency, go to Chris Redfearn for Miller County Judge on social media. My resume's out there. My evaluations are out there. And these are things, my resume, I obviously wrote that one, but the evaluations, my letters of endorsement and recommendations, I have a major general, on one of them. I have a fire chief from another city for another one. I have a lieutenant colonel I'm going to put out today. I got it this weekend. These are all people who know what leadership takes, know what it takes to run an organization of this size and bigger.
Right.
And you don't get these recommendations. You don't.
Right. They don't just give them away.
Generals, very seldom. Matter of fact, I've never seen one.
Right.
And when General Penn sent me that one, I sat down.
That's awesome.
Because he's a person I respect so much, and you can Google his name and just go look at it.
Okay.
Kendall Penn.
Okay.
And General Penn, and he's retired. General Penn's retired. If you're listening, and I'm sure you are, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Scott Eaton, thank you so much. Gib Richardson, thank you so much. I'm releasing yours today. No, but it's just the true difference between me and the other candidates is what we were just talking about, diversity of life, being able to start from day one, using talent management. And I understand the roads have to be fixed, and they will, but I'm not going to promise you to fix your road, because if I do that, then you expect me to do it January 1. and it brings in disbelief, and, you get mad right off the bat. But what we do is I actually do have a plan, and I've talked about it for months. That's the difference. I mean, now, and you got the JDC and everybody's, when I first come out with my plan, it's kind of everybody's plan now.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works.
It's amazing how it works. But that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. I don't mind that at all, because it's really the plan that will work. But we have to work the plan.
There we go.
And it's not going to be day one. It's not going to be year one.
Yeah, it takes time.
You have to look. I plan in 1, 4, 6, and 10. I know everybody wants a 5-year plan, but the data doesn't break down that way for what we're doing.
Right.
And if the data changes, then the plan's going to change.
You can adjust.
There's a saying in the Army: you don't fight the plan.
Right.
You don't fight the plan. You got to once you. That's the reason you have to do the data research. And I got they kind of look down on data. And I don't. But the
data
Army
tells the story.
Data tells the story. But think about it like this: the Army, United States Army, United States military, is the most efficient, lethal warfighting machine ever in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Ever. If they took the mentality that they didn't have to do data and research, you'd lose.
Yeah.
So whenever they go into a campaign and we're thinking large scale war, right? I'm talking a small training event,
right?
Like with 100 people.
It's still
the same. You still have to collect your data. You still have to do all all that data processing and all that. It's called the decision-making process is what it's called. And you gather that data, and then you start making decisions based off of that. That's the reason, I mean, there's over 1 million people that conduct all these extremely dangerous things all the time.
Right.
And unfortunately, every now and then, we lose a soldier in training.
Yeah.
And that's very unfortunate. It's terrible. And you plan to not do that. But sometimes things happen. But if you didn't do the decision-making process,
It'd be worse.
you'd be losing hundreds of people. You think there's 1 million people moving right now doing extremely dangerous things.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't happen just by accident.
That doesn't happen by accident.
And so that's what you're saying is you want to bring back into Miller County is we're going to have this process. We're going to stick to it. We're going to follow the data. We're going to do what's right for the county, and it's going to make everything better over time.
So I'm not looking to move the county back 10 or 20 years.
Right.
And if that's the guy you want, I'm not your guy for sure.
Right.
If you want someone that's going to come in and bring discipline and strategic planning to a process that in the beginning, it's going to be slower.
Yeah.
Because you
by
have
nature.
to get by nature. But by year 1, it's complete. Year 2 is complete. You'll see the speed. And now you can just bang, 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 bang.
Absolutely.
And that's what I really bring. Among other things, just Chris Redfearn from Miller County Judge on Facebook. It's all there, guys. But the decision making and the strategic mindset of planning and accomplishing big things with limited resources. That's what I've done my entire career.
There we go. Well, all right, everybody. Chris, man, thanks for coming.
Thanks for
I appreciate you. Y'all go check it out. Chris Redfearn for Miller County. And you can do that. Anyway, I hope God blesses each and every one of you today.